Hello and very good day to my fellow friend and Prof Zainal. My name is Muhammad Afiq Tarmizie Bila Negara, BM21110029, first year student of medical. So now I will talk about human skin, which is for SSM, the study of skin and eczema. First and foremost, I will talk about introduction about the skin, which is it an amazing organ, which is the first layer of human body before the muscle and skeleton, which is our first barrier of protection. It is two or more types of tissues grouped together and perform specific function than forming organs, and that is the largest organ in the body by constitute 16% of body weight, and its various accessories structure make up the integumentary system. So next we move to anatomy of the skin. From the picture here we can see there is hair, sebaceous gland, sensory nerve ending, arteriole, muscle, sweat gland, and capillaries. And also we can see the layer of the skin, which is first layer is epidermis, dermis, then subcutaneous tissue. So the superficial, there is thinner portion of the skin, which is the epidermis, and it is composed of epithelial tissue. It is avascular. Next, the deeper, we have the thicker layer of the skin, which is the dermis, and it is composed of connective tissue. It is vascular. And then next, deep to the dermis, not part of the skin, we have the subcutaneous layer, and also called as hypodermis. It is composed of areola and adipose tissue. Next, we going to epidermis. So epidermis, there is 5 layer, which is stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, and then stratum basale, which is we known as basal layer. So stratum basale, it is the deepest layer, which is the basal layer, a single layer of columnar to cuboidal cells which rest on the basement membrane. And then stratum spinosum, it is a second layer formed by the mitotic activity of basale. And then spinosum also we known as spiny shape. Then stratum granulosum, it is the third layer, which is filled with granule. And then there is keratohyalin granules, which is contain keratin precursor that eventually aggregate, cross-link, and form bundle. And then we have stratum lucidum, which is the fourth layer. It is transcluent and barely visible. The cell here begin to die, so the nuclei and organelles begin to disintegrate. And then lastly we have the stratum corneum, which is the fifth layer, most superficial layer, which is there is flattened dead cell filled with the soft keratin filament. And then next we going to the histology part, which is there is 4 cells in the skin: Langerhans cells, keratinocyte, melanocyte, and Merkel cell. So first is the Langerhans cell, which is the intraepidermal macrophage from the red bone marrow. It is help in immune function. And then keratinocyte, this about 19% in the skin, which is synthesis of keratin, a protein waterproof protective substance. And then melanocyte, it is about 8%, which is synthesis of pigment melanin for the skin color and for absorption of ultraviolet light. And then we have the Merkel cell, which is tactile epithelial cells. It is the deepest layer of the epidermis. It's a sensory structure and help in the sensation of touch. And then we going to physiology. One of the skin function is for the vitamin D synthesis. So it is the synthetic function, which is from the sunlight. We produce the vitamin D. So sunlight activate precursor molecule in the skin to produce calcitriol, which is the active form of vitamin D. Vitamin D is for absorption of calcium in the gastrointestinal tract. Next part is pathology, diseases related to skin. So there are many diseases related to skin, and here I provide 4, which is first is acne. It is caused when blocked skin follicles from a plaque caused by oil from glands, bacteria and dead cells clump together and swell. Next is alopecia areata. It is a condition that attacks your hair follicle. In most cases, hair fall out in small and round patch. So next is atopic dermatitis. It is a skin disease causing much itchiness. Scratching lead to redness, swelling, cracking, weeping clear fluid, crusting and scaling. So lastly is the epidermolysis bullosa. It is a group of diseases causing painful blisters to form on the skin. These blisters can cause problem if they become infected. So last part is dermatologists in Malaysia. So one of the famous dermatologists in Malaysia is Dr. Wong Soo Ming. Dr. Wong is an accredited physician on the Malaysian Medical Council and dermatologist registered with the National Specialist Register. She was formerly a lecturer and dermatologist at University Malaya for 8 years before going into private practice. She also a member of the Dermatological Society of Malaysia and Academy of Medicine of Malaysia. She is also a participating member in the Malaysian Psoriasis Work Group for the development of clinical practice guidelines for psoriasis. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.